Hi everyone, so I want to bring you my update for Partners in Cream. I actually have a really exciting update, so I'm excited to share with you what's been happening. Let's start with some of the older products that have been in this project. Actually, this is kind of together because I've been working on my paint pot in Groundwork since the beginning of the project, which I introduced in January. And then I took a quote break for two other cream eyeshadows, which I had kind of in and out. Like I kind of would mash in here from time to time during the beginning of the year. And then I ended up depotting the rest of the cream eyeshadow sticks into this pot. And I said that I would be trying to hit some goals. Didn't really happen, but I got a little franken antsy and went ahead and actually pushed whatever was in this pot into here. So now this looks completely full again. um, as you can see, well, you can't really see, and I can't even really tell. I think, yeah, I can really only tell by looking at the side of it, to be honest. But this half is Groundwork and what used to be, originally in the container. These shimmery ones is what was in the other one, and also a cream eyeshadow stick from Sephora. One's kind of a rose gold one, one's kind of a taupey one, and they honestly mix really well together. So I'm not mad about this, but I feel like I'm starting from ground zero again. So I'll continue updating on this. I'm hoping to just deepen up this well a little bit before like working towards the edge somehow. Um, but yeah, and this is also much more of an airtight container than the other one was. I was getting scared that they were drying out, which is why I like pretty quickly put them in here. So not mad about this, but I've had Groundwork for a little over a year now. So I know for some people their paint pots can last well like 2-3 years. So I don't feel like in a rush to use this up in like a traditional cream product sense, but I do need to be steadily working on it and not move gravitating to something else for a primer, which I haven't. So it's worked out pretty well for me. um Excuse me. Let's see here. Let's do an exciting one. Actually, I think the rest of them are pretty exciting. No, actually, no, this one isn't that exciting. So my Shiseido foundation, I do actually have an update line here. And my goal for this, I think, was just to see how far I could get before this shade doesn't match me anymore. And it still does. And what I've been doing is mixing it in with like mixers and stuff like that in this bottle. So like this portion I haven't really used up. It's actually stuck in here, but this is, I kind of mixed it to be like a bronze, like what I imagine would be bronzing drops. I've never had actual bronzing drops, but I imagine it's just like to like bronze up your face like a tad darker than your skin tone. And yeah, so this is a mix of this plus some like kind of highlighty drops that I had and like a really dark concealer that I had. So that's kind of how I made this shade. It is a tad dark. I'm wearing it right now. I don't know if you can really tell, which I'm glad for. That's kind of the point, like not to really tell, but just like looks a tad darker. But I feel like now that we're in September, I'll need to use this up pretty quickly or be mixing it with my other foundation that's quite a bit lighter. So I think I'm gonna keep this in the project for another month to, while it still kind of matches. And right now I have a goal in another project to use it up to the words that start here. So I guess hopefully we'll meet that goal, but I will update you guys on this next month. Um, let's see here. Okay, I think the rest are all rollouts, which is super exciting. Um, yeah, it's kind of going to be interesting how I roll things in, but I'll show you guys first. So I had a cream blush. It was originally the Matte Glow Play Blush in So Natural. It's in a round packaging, which I decanted and returned back to MAC while the program was still in full swing. And yeah, I ended up having it in multiple different palettes and weird places, but ultimately landed in this corner over here, the very last remnants of it. And it got so thin that I ended up pressing it with this shade that I was mixing it with. And honestly, there's still a little bit left in there, like in that corner, but I think I've pretty much used up the rest of it. Like, I would really have to dig in there to get just the pure cream blush in there, but most of what's in this plan is actually a lipstick. And I basically use lipsticks as cream blush, so that's kind of why I just mix the two together. So I think functionally for this project, I'm gonna finally call it done. Like, I wouldn't look at this and be like, I'm going to reach for my MAC cream blush. So I think because of that, I will go ahead and call it done. I'm very excited about that. I think I'm going to It's very easy for me just to pick another shade and, keep moving with this palette, but I do have this in those palettes, and I feel like I just reached for this kind of organically anyway, so I'm gonna give this a break from this project, so you won't be seeing it unless I want to pull in to roll in for another product. So I can probably take a break from my cream blushes. I actually have a few that are coming in. I just bought a few, which is so unlike me because I would just use, honestly, lipstick for cream blush, and I'm not super picky about my blush colors, but it was part of a kit. So you might see that in this project, whether it be later this year or next year. All right, so another product I'm very excited to have used up is my Franken Cream Bronzer. It is still littered with the remnants of what used to be in here, and it was originally a Dior sample pack that had such dark shades that it mixed super duper dark, and then so I ended up like just mixing it with other things like foundation and primers and mixing mediums, and just to like try to get it to consistency that would work for me and what I need out of a liquid contour. So yes, so that version of this is done. I actually have a few other like foundation samples and concealer samples that are coming in, so I think I'm gonna probably do the same thing because I really actually enjoyed having a liquid contour around. And not that I necessarily like it in this packaging per se. I would actually like it in something like this packaging, but I don't have two of these bottles, and I'll make do. I might purchase another one of those airless pump things, but right now, honestly, using it out of a pot was okay. So at least make the concoction, get started on that for the next month, and then I'll do you guys on where I'm at with that. So kind of a roll out slash roll back in type of scenario. All right, the eye cream. I decanted this eye cream into this little pot, and for the function of this project, I'm gonna call it done. I think tonight might be my last use. That is how much is left in there. Probably could be 2 uses, but I'm a overuser when it comes to the last use. I've just kind of embraced that for myself as a project planner. Just the last like 2 uses or so, I just tend to overuse a little bit because I'm so excited, and not that I kind of beat myself up for it every time, but at the same time, it's so tempting just to reach the finish line sooner than later. So that one only has like 2 uses left at the very most. Maybe, now that I'm saying it out loud, I will try to be accountable for making it last tonight and tomorrow, and then I will be done. For that product, I am going to roll another skincare item. This is the Hydrating Milky Toner by Thayers. I can't remember if I rolled this in at the beginning of the year or not, but maybe not. Maybe I've started a different project. But I really would love to finish this by the end of the year. I just got a few other new skincare products that kind of work similar to this. So yeah, I would love to use this. It says there's hyaluronic acid in it, and it really does remove makeup and is really comfortable to use, but not a traditional toner by any means in terms of like cleansing the skin. This is one that's meant to like both cleanse and stay and moisturize type of thing. So it's an interesting one. It's kind of like a toner slash moisturizer in one, and it just, yeah, well, I like the function of it. I haven't quite been able to figure out how to really make it work in my collection. So right now it's mainly a makeup remover more than anything else. Sometimes I use it in the morning to like quote cleanse my face in the morning, but also moisturize at the same time. That's actually been a nice function of it, but I really just need to use it up. I probably have about a third left in here, so about 4 ounces. I have it decanted into another bottle, so there's probably like another half of an ounce in that one, and then I'll just keep decanting it. So hopefully you'll see this get lower and lower. Right now I am right about where it says snow mushroom, and then I'll probably mark it today and then kind of keep track of it that way. So that's gonna be a little lofty of a goal, but hoping to make it. And then my last thing is this Revue Beauty lip balm that I ended up decanting. It broke on me, and then I actually ended up putting it into my palette here. It's actually this shade over here. While I could technically let it live in this project in this format, it's not an old product in my collection by any means. I think I got it around Easter this year, so like April. It's not old, which I think was part of the purpose of this project, was to really get at like old cream products. So that's why I'm okay with rolling this one out. And instead, I'll be rolling in a really interesting product. This is the Makeup Forever Aqua Seal, and I plan on actually using this as my setting spray. Not directly from this. I would be diluting it probably with either like a type of toner or some other skincare liquid, even like diluted or distilled water. How can you dilute water? You can't dilute water. What am I saying? Distilled water, purified water. Just to make it into kind of a spray type of, it's actually sprayable for a setting spray. But yeah, I'm interested in trying that out. So if it really does work for me, and I'll report back next month, because actually by next month, I probably won't have any progress on this because I'm using up another setting spray right now. But hopefully by next month, I'll have started on this. And it'll be really interesting to see kind of if I can get some work on this, because if I used it the way I'm using it now, it would take forever to use up. So right now I'm like not even at the bottom of the word forever. I'm like just kind of above it. So yeah, like I'm right at the bottom of it. So I'm hoping that if I use like 10 to 15 drops in kind of my setting spray container and then add in liquid, that it will actually kind of function as a setting spray. I basically don't use setting sprays for really setting, just more as like a facial mist. So I wouldn't be like super mad if it doesn't work for me. But at least I feel like there's something in this bottle that could potentially set my makeup just a little bit. So that's my thoughts there. So it's a little bit random. Let me try to summarize what's happening. So just gonna try to work through this. Gonna try to get started on this and figure out how to make it work and be using it more frequently in my collection. Still working on this foundation, decanting it in here and doing my mixes and stuff like that. We'll be remixing and frankening another cream or like liquid contour bronzer in here, and then continue to work on my Groundwork paint pot. So 5 products. I will update you on how that goes next month. So thanks so much for tuning in for this update, and I'll see you in my next one.